What is happening? Good morning. Happy Saturday. How is everything? What are you up to today? What are we getting into? What's the good word? What's my sound like? Hold on. Getting into what's the good word? What's my sound like? Oh, sounds okay to me. I don't know. Some people think my phone sounds like it's coming out of a can, which they're probably right. This phone is about shot. I'm going to get a new one very soon. I replaced the screen, and ever since then, the microphone's kind of weird. But we survive. We survive. Saturday morning, not sure what I'm getting into exactly today. I have some videos to make. I have a few errands to run. I always have knives to play with. This is Fred's, shoot, what's this called? The Spark? This Spark. Fidget. Zing. Zing. It's an interesting one. I do like that I can do this. Oh, what's up, Donnie? I'm at the coffee shop, just popping in quick. Donnie, I'm at the coffee shop right here. Kenman's own. Although I didn't grow the plant, harvest the beans, roast them. I ground the beans. I purchased said bean, ground them, put them in the little disposable Keurig cup, pushed the water through it. Still a little too hot. So you just do a switch to the old RB. Your homie shop is closing after 10 years in a day. Hopefully moving on to better things in the future. Wow, so that doesn't, okay. Oh, so that top flipper's so big. What am I catching under here? I was like this, and oh, you can see it's touching my thumb, so you got to get like down like there to get it to drop. And then a don't push on the lock bar. This cyberpunk kind of weirdo coffee shop. That's what I thought it was. What is just his business isn't good, or did he get a better opportunity, or get bought out or something, or whatever? Maybe he doesn't want to share. Oh, I have caught up on that lock bar a couple times now. I'm not a fan of that, but I am a fan of not being able to top. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Fred. Well, it landed on my leg and then on the chair. We're good. I saved it with my leg. Luckily, it didn't go like this and stick in the leg. So, yeah, interesting knife from Fred. Got that little spinny fidget. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Now this, I do not, this is one of the first knives. I just don't like this knife at all. This is a Poikilo DLC Zen. I'm really not even going to open it. It's thumb stud only on one side, and when I go to flick this thing open, it like pushes my thumb right at it. Like, I swear I'm gonna cut myself on this. And as a lefty, the only option would be to flick, but you can't flick it because the crossbar gets any pressure on it at all, or the crossbar. Lock bar, the frame lock, any pressure on there, it won't open, so it can't even open it as a lefty. no means they need to do more purple and black knives. Yeah, that look is cool, especially with the DLC on there. It's a nice look, but I can't open this knife. I can't flick it open. I'd have to hold it like that to flick it, which is a two-hand opening. The righty, I catch it all the time. The thumb stud is way too close. So I fail. And then when I do get it to open, it like wants to let go and then push your thumb like right at the blade. I'm not going to open this thing. I'm going to do the review on it and pass it on. And, I've never really trying to think of reviews of knives I've done that it was like, yeah, you really didn't like that knife. There's times where it's things that I don't like about a knife. Often it's more of my left-handed problems where it's like I want to flick it open, but I can't because the crossbar pressure. But yeah, this one, I don't like opening it. I don't like the feel of it. It's unfortunate, and I don't want to talk bad about stuff, so I'll go ahead and grab the other Poikilo that he sent and say that this thing is awesome. Also has a full frame lock right there, and when I put my thumb on it as a lefty, still flicks out just fine. It also has the top for front flipper, rear flipper, flicks out of that flicking hole real easy. SOO to Volpex. It says Poikilo VK Zen DLC. Poikilo VK Zen with the DLC coating. And this is the Poikilo Zane, what's it say? What's it called? Shark? VK Shark Integral. Whoop. So it's got a nice integral thing. And this is the one that's wild because we can't figure it out because there is a screw hole right there. But because it's integral, you can see all the way in there. This is just a solid chunk of metal only across the back here and hollowed out. So that screw is for the clip. There's nowhere else that would be able to get to. And then the pivot is covered with these two caps that don't move, don't pop off. We don't know if they glued those caps on or what, but if you needed to make adjustments to this, there's literally no visible screws other than that one inside that hole right there, which is for the clip. So I looked it up, couldn't find anything. Interested to see how this does come apart. Not going to be taking it apart. We did find it on one website and it was 710 euro was the price. So if you know euros, then that's at least 800 US. Yikes. What's up, Mo Patty? Well, Patty, I'm dropping, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm doing a couple things and I'm making a run and dropping your knives in the mail. A few of them to you, and then one of them I got to send to Paul. Boom. I'll send you the tracking on that. But yeah, this Poikilo is super cool. I dig it. Feels great in the hand. Nice choke up spot. The tip sits in a good place. The price is high. I can't afford this. So it's nice that Fred sends us stuff to look at. But I'd love to be able to figure out how to remove, not that I need to, but I'm just curious how it works. What did they do? Did they glue Loctite these pieces in? Those pieces are kind of like inlays. You can see all the way around the edge on both sides. It's inlaid into there. and there are no little notches or little spots where you would like pry or pop or anything like that. So I'm not sure what the deal is. I mean, obviously, boom. I used to think that you just buy less knives. Well, yeah, I understand. And it's not that it's like I can't just go take that out and then just, I'm not completely. Yes, I could go buy that knife today, but everyone's got their comfort levels. I've never spent half, if this is $800, I've never spent $400, and close, but you know what I mean? It's cool. It's cool. I just feel like, do I love that enough to put that much money into that one? If I found something like Donnie's knife, like a Ripley, I will spend the money on a Ripley. That's something I can see the value in it, but it's also because that's not a mass produced, that's Donnie's love and time put into that incredible quality knife. That I can see, but something like this, it's really cool, right? But I feel like I could probably buy 4 or 5 knives that I love for the same price as this one. And so to me, it's the justification of like, I really got to love that thing a lot, because I know I could probably buy $300 or $400 knives and a couple $200 knives and absolutely love them. And I think I would love those 5 or 6 knives more than one $800 knife. But, if that makes sense, I will no doubt enjoy myself a Bless knives at some point, and those are definitely worth it. But that's different, I think. Each one's going to have its own slightly unique quality, even though, like, Ripley is a Ripley. They're all handmade. He's got his own little touch he puts into each one. All right, let's test the coffee. Intelligentsia. I don't remember the name of it, but it is a medium roast from Intelligentsia. I buy the beans, grind the beans, put them in a little reusable K-cup or whatever, and then run it through a generic Keurig. It's not the best in the world, but you get good beans. You grind them fairly fresh within, like I usually grind enough for a day or two. It's pretty good. Pretty good. What's everyone getting into today? I have videos to make. I got the 3 videos on the three knives from Fred. I still have 3 videos to make with the Kevin Smith and Knives collection. We might as well get one of those out. This has got to be one of my favorite knives of all time, right here. This one might be worth the investment. Still pretty expensive, but CKF Rotten Evo 3.0. Ooh, drop shut, flicks out. Mo Patty on vacation. Just wanted to pop in and say hello for Saturday morning and some coffee. On vacation, huh? Anywhere fun or just getting out for the weekend? How good is this knife for cutting the cheese? That's a cheese slicing. I mean, you can just look at this drop. Just baboosh. It's so good, Nick. Look at that edge. The mirror. Words. The sharp edge, that reflection on there is just. Yep. She's a huge hollow grind, like over an inch wide hollow grind is. Would it even cut my loaf of milk? Inside joke there for those if you don't know, you know. Good old loaves of milk. I think this would go through a loaf of milk like just see the belly on there. Oh, what a shape. I love it. My index finger locked in right on that spot there. Just feels great in the hand. Tip is in a perfect spot for just getting in. I have a bigger hand, so I appreciate a larger handle on the back. If you notice the grip, my pinky just barely gets around versus like something that's thin. I still like them, but like this, I could coil my pinky up there like this is fine. This is a delicate kind of a user. That's this VV Guile, but that extra beef on there, I love that. I want a larger handled knife. One of my absolute favorites right now is the Devo Stout V2. This is a lefty, but another one, you can see the handle, a little bit wider, a little bit thicker. That's kind of more if I'm going to be, having to pick preferences. The most recent I got, the Meteor from Ramet. Jeez. A little bit wider on that handle. It's my comfort, my happy zone. The one that I was saying was my favorite for the longest time, still in my top 5, is the Kaiser Mini Towser K, 154 and titanium on that one. But the same kind of deal. Big handle, wide handle. What's up, J1? Slightly larger blade. These are a few of my favorite things. So I got what do you call it? I got the message from YouTube saying I could not monetize my live that Donnie was on Thursday night. Donnie, we can't monetize the Thursday live because of a couple music copyrights. What you know about that? I'll give you the okay on don't worry about it, because I honestly don't even turn the monetization on half of my lives. They don't really make any money. And if I do turn the monetization on, then there's commercials, people watch, then they see the commercial, then they might tune out or whatever. And since a live might only get me a couple of cents or whatever, dude, I'm not worried about it at all. I shouldn't be in public. I do those live streams when we're at the disc golf at the bar, and you can hear the music in the background. Those they give me the strike too. But if you look, 90% of my lives, I don't turn the monetization on. I just leave it. I don't really make, with the views that I get, it's not really profitable. So I almost feel that it's better for me personally to just let people watch it, enjoy it without the commercials. And then if they like the content, they might tune in, and then that might, that I don't do this to get rich. So yeah, I didn't have it monetized anyway, but they gave me the email saying, oh, and if you do monetize it, it's going to go to so-and-so. It actually tells you the exact songs that it heard or whatever. Metal Fest. Get that bread, my man? I'm doing fine. I have a full-time job, Nick. I'm good on that. Now, if this were to eventually turn into something where I could make that more of my full-time job, that's great. But I'm more of a, I do this, I'm having fun, I'm enjoying it, and I have my full-time job that I don't plan on quitting right now. That pays my bills. So I'm good. And I also, I like this. And in a way, you got to be careful. Like I've done I'm an artist and I love Pantera Brandos. I've seen Pantera. I saw them at least 6 or 7 times back when Dimebag was still with us. Rest in peace, bro. Yeah, they put on a great show. And I'm just saying, if you have the possibility to monetize, then you should. That's all. Well, okay, but if I monetize all 20 of those or all, lives that I do in a month, and combined, all of them make me like $20. I mean, $20 is $20. But do you see how, like, I kind of see it as without the commercials, more people might continue to stay tuned in and not kind of, like, ooh, I'm not getting. Sometimes when people are watching and they get a commercial and it's like, later. And if they go in and they don't get any commercials at all and they're then vibing with what's going on, we gain a new viewer. Pantera, Danzig, Metallica, 97. I might have been there. What would that have been? The load? Or that might have been a reload, huh? Metallica, 97. That's kind of when I started falling off of Metallica, to be honest. Old school, that was where it's at. After they did Injustice for All, then the Black Album, that's when it started. I started less. I mean, I bought Load, I bought Reload, but I think that was it. And I went to that show, which was the show where they had the stage kind of in the round, and then like at the end they had a kind of a fake thing where like it like one of the lights collapse, and then there's a fire, and then guys come out, put out the fire, they put some guy on a stretcher, they wheel him off, and then you realize it was all a show so that then they could do their encore or something. That was a pretty fun little event. No Kevin Smith and Knives this morning. Boom. Try to go to every concert you can. I used to be like that. It would be every month or two, there would be another concert. You'd probably go 15, 20 concerts a year back in the day. There isn't as much, am I getting to be old man? There isn't as much newer music or releases that would be shows that I'm as interested in. So I'm a little out of the loop, whatever. Morning, Fred. How you doing, Fred? Did you jump into my live yesterday that was already over? Or I noticed Fred left out. I'm not trying to. I saw you left a post like, am I the only one here? I think he got an alert for a live that the live was already over. Ooh, coffee's right at the right temp. Right at the right temp. That's the problem. There's so many. I want to have something to display all your knives. Well, Nick, lots of options out there. A new metal show would be cool. What's up, Grayson? But yeah, if you're looking for doing some shelving, here's a few options. I made that one. Kevin Smith and Knives made this one. These back here are 3D printed ones that I need to kind of redo it a little bit more. Uh-oh. I'll take these off. I can show you. Here's a little 3D printed one. If you know someone with a 3D printer, or you could probably find someone to print one, like you could probably order one online from someone for a couple of bucks. It's a pretty easy print. I actually glued this one. But they're pretty easy. Simple little shelves. These are wooden little slats, like up, over, up, over, up, over. Kevin made the one. I made the one on top. We look at the ones over here. I made this one. And then Kevin Smith and Knives made these two right here. What's up, TC Blades? So it's doing all right. I still got a couple of shelves that are kind of mismatched, kind of stuff I need to mess around with a little bit up top. And then this bottom shelf on this one here, I don't know. I still have 20 or so knives out in the other room I got to mess around with. Lighting is sick. Thank you. So I got lights on each one of the rows or up inside there, and I can change that. I never do. But I can go in here. Oh, this popped off. I gotta retape that. But if I want to make these all like different colors, you know, we can have some fun. Or you can do like some disco. How does this work? Is it fading or is it just sitting there? Doesn't seem to be changing. Or is it too slow? Anyway. Cold. There you go. Wild stuff. Oh, now I'm in trouble. Because now I can't get it back. Cancel. So yeah, those are cool. They're fun. And then Stacy, lovely, wonderful Stacy, patient, perfect Stacy. Love for Stacy. She gave me the lights that are in the back. And so I can switch these up too. Oh, that's a little loose. Wanted to make those green or blue. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Red on one side and blue on the other kind of gives it that purple across the middle. It's kind of neat. Or we can go over here and swap this to green. Right? Not bad. My chaos here. Hold on a sec. Got my screens up on this side. The new microphone's working really good. Very happy with that. Got the lovely secretary. Think of the blue-green. The green around the outside's pretty wild. It's bright. I could maybe turn that down a little bit. That really makes it pop in the middle there. House is cozy. It's a mess down there. If you look way down there, that's where the old live used to be. Bedroom in there, second bedroom, bathroom. Nothing special, kind of an older house. We're gonna get back in the corner here. But I live alone, which is pretty much awesome. There's Kevin Smith and Nas right there. What the hell? Looks fear, looks gear, looks great. Been there. Been there. A little bit of a mess. Got a couple things. Chaos kind of on here. Wow. You don't need to retract them. It's more fun. Oh, we got an absolute tidal wave going on here. This fell over. I like to do this. This ain't gonna work with one hand, but we're gonna try. Wow, he exploded all my... I had like an army set up. They're attacking bobblehead Leatherface there. And then I got my girl Alice in the canoe right back there, you know. Little SC knife monkey tray. Two cabinets. Yes, sir. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Top 15 on the wall on the burrito, the Naf's burrito. Of course, it's half empty right now because they're laying all over the place. Got them all over. This table right here is an absolute explosion of a vast array of variety. Sure. I did get another camera. This mount right here. There's one right here. So I'm going to actually put it right here, coming off the wall. Maybe I'll do that today. But I've got this light, and it's on a stand. So basically, I'm going to get it off the stand. It'll hang right there. So then I'll be able to tuck it into this corner a little bit more and angle it a little bit better. I actually had another one on the other side, but it burned out. I've been running with the one light, and then I actually have a little extra light that I put right here that kind of is helping so that it's not getting as much of a shadow. On the other side, all my stuff is stashed away in boxes. Yeah, I'm a very visual, like, I like seeing it. Like, if I put stuff away, it's away. You know, it's like I put my guitar away. It's in the case. I will never play it. Never. And if it's out, I will. Cool pen holder. Oh, I got that from Lanyard Man. Actually, I have to finish that video and get those sent back to him. But he made that. Just a nice little two-piece. Oh, when it's full of pens. Wow, zoom out now. So it's basically just two wires back here, the bottom piece, the top piece. Drilled out some holes. Sorry, it's dark. Let me turn the light on. Whoosh. So yeah, he made that one for me, gave me this one as a gift. Then I have the rest. Let me back this up here. These are all his. Going to send those back. I got to finish that video. So we've got a few. This is the Big Idea click pen, which is fun. We got a couple of the bolt actions. Copper bolt action. This one's DLC. Black DLC coated, which is really cool. This is one that Lanyard Man made. I haven't made pens in a while. I need to make some more pens. Nice little magnet top. Maybe I should turn that light on. This is the one that I won from Stacy. This is a CRKT pen. A heavy duty one. This one I've had for over 20 years. Looks like a mechanical pencil, but it's not. That is a metal spike. And then you push it back in and scratch your table at the same time. It looks like a drafting pencil, but you've got your sharp and pointy. Pretty fun stuff. Pretty fun stuff. I am going to shipwreck this one today, I think. I want to get a P&W Funworks pen. I don't know that one. I'm going to look that up. But I'll show you guys the pen that I want to get that I might order, but expensive pens, on the fence. But this pen that's just coming out, just released yesterday on Big Idea Design. There it is. Let's go. This thing is cool. The Chavez fountain pen. Dude. I mean, okay. Still available. Look at that. So it's a fountain pen, which is definitely different. Look at how the clip sits in the pocket. That is rad. You've got your full-on Chavez skull clip with a fountain pen tip, titanium. What do we think about that? Tell me that's not super cool. The skull will find you when you are ready. You wish it wasn't a fountain pen? That's kind of the reason I kind of want it. Yes, fountain pens are different, but if you're only just signing off a couple pages or something like that here and there, fountain pen is kind of fun. I hope he does a pen that accepts the normal ones. I bet they will. I bet they will. Because the fountain pen is definitely kind of more of a niche kind of a deal. I get that. But there was something about it being the fountain pen, that kind of sucks. Can't see it all. That kind of got me intrigued more to get it, I guess. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I love the clip for sure. So I can imagine that there'd be no reason that they won't make one of those that's not a fountain pen. The clip is too cool. Right? And then, 120 bucks for a fountain pen. Like, are you going to use it? But again, I use a pen at work every day, probably sign a dozen or more. I have paperwork that I'll fill out for 4 or 5 different orders a day, and then I'll sign off. I have several other people that I work with that I sign off for things for people. And so they set up a job, they bring me a first example, and I'll check it and sign off on it. So I'm, initialing, dating, signing, maybe 20 or so times every day at work. I think a fountain pen would work in that case because you just grab the pen quick. There you go. I've never really used a fountain pen all that much. I know that they run a little different because it's the way it works and the way the knob and their nib or whatever, and it deploys the ink. Generally the ink is going to be a little bit wetter, although Tri-State was talking about some that dries really, really fast. But I'm a lefty, so as a lefty, you go across, you tend to drag your hand through, and ink that doesn't dry fast smears pretty easy, and so I kind of avoided fountain type pens because you're going to have a harder time as a lefty not smearing that stuff. Love the skull clip when there's no hardware showing, right? Because it's the same as this one here. I've got the Big Idea Design base model bolt action copper. Got a nice patina. I was going to shipwreck it, but then I started getting a natural patina on there and kind of let it go. But see how they have the screw in the top, which then allows the clip to go into this little slot on the side. But you can also make it lefty or righty. So if you take that screw off, take the top off, you can actually adjust the notch so that it's on the other side. So if I wanted the clip over here, I could make it do that. And the skull clip that they got on the Chavez version is the same style. So the fact that it's got that, so you don't see any hardware, you just see that skull hanging out, and then the the screw is on top. Here you can see a better angle of it from the side, and it goes into that notch right there. Super rad. Very cool. But for a fountain pen, $120. Anybody gonna get one? Maybe. Yeah, big idea. They have some really quality stuff. They've been buying more machines. If you watch them like on their Instagram, they've been expanding, adding, learning how to make all their stuff in-house. They don't make everything in-house, but they're getting down to making some small parts, washers, screws, things that they're trying to really find a way to make it all. Plus all the guys that are working over there are really cool. I've met them several times at like blade shows, interact with them online and stuff. They're all very cool guys, and they got a good company. They're making some fun stuff. This is that bolt action pen baseline. This is my daily. I carry this pretty much every day. If anything, I would say, because I have a large hand, sometimes the way I hold this and open it, it's just short enough that sometimes I'll get a little ink on my palm because it stops right there. If it was like a 1/4 inch longer, because it is a little shorter than a normal pen. This is the other one I carry all the time, the Zebra. So you can see the Zebra is just a little bit longer. But this is a steel Zebra. You can get these at like Target or Amazon or whatever. But it's the standard classic Zebra style, except for in a stainless with the nice knurled grip. A little bit thicker tip than the standard ones. Not very heavy at all though. And I like the Zebras a lot as a lefty. You can write fast and it dries quick and it doesn't smear up. So these are awesome. This one I'd carry all the time. So now I really only carry this if it matches. So like if I was carrying this knife for the day, then it would be that. But otherwise, I pretty much have been carrying this copper bolt action as my main daily. Also, ink cartridges are pretty wide to Sharpie gets really doesn't smear. Some of them, like the skinny Sharpies, some of them smear, some of them dry fairly quick. But this one, you can put different ink cartridges in there, and they make several where they're designed. There's another one that you can see a little bit more where this barrel has all extended, basically threads on it. So you can adjust the size to the ink cartridges you get. So if you have a shorter ink cartridge, you can screw this down tighter, or a longer one, you don't screw it in as far. And you basically dial it in so that when you open it, it pops out the amount you want. And so they accept several different ink cartridges, so you can kind of pick and choose which ones you like better. I've been waiting a long time for Chavez to do a knife that's, yeah, they did with ProTech. I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah, $120 pen. We talked about this at work though, and like the price of pens and stuff. And there is something to be said about spending a little money on a pen. And here is my spiel on that. If you have a cheap Bic throwaway pen or whatever, that's your mentality. 100%. You've got it, you set it down, you chuck it, you don't care. It's a cheap throwaway pen. It doesn't really matter, so you will lose it because you don't hold anything to it. You buy yourself, I think these are like 50, 60 bucks. You don't even need this. You could just start out, buy a $20 pen or whatever. Even this one's $7. But the second you now have invested a little bit of money into said pen, your brain doesn't think of it the same way. You're like, ooh, that's $50. I don't want to lose that. So now you have just subconsciously, immediately care more and put more thought into your pen. And so you don't lose it. Because now you've actually changed, and now you're like, okay, I do have my pen. You know, like you're thinking about not losing your pen. And it's not even on purpose. You just, it's like you get it, you're like, okay, I like this, it's cool, I want to test it out, I don't want to lose it. And so then you put it in your pocket, boom, and it's there. Every once in a while you're like, oh, it is there. But then you grab it, you use it. If someone's like, can I use your pen? You hand it to them, but you sit there and you watch them, and you're like, all right, give me my pen back. You hold more value to it, and so then you care for it a little more, and your chances of losing it, because you're carelessly not thinking about it. I don't even want to lose $12 right in the rain. Dude, I'm right there with you. But see, there's things like umbrellas. I have lost umbrellas, and I'm sure many other people have, because it's not something that you think about, you're common, you use. So you have an umbrella, you're using it, you get somewhere, you set it down, you leave, and you left the umbrella there. You forgot it. But go buy yourself a $100 umbrella. Don't do that. I mean, but if you were to buy an expensive umbrella, hey, it's the Johnsons. What's up? Yeah, that $100 umbrella, all of a sudden, you're going to be like, where's my umbrella? There's a place, there's a spot, there's a time. I started off with the $7 one. Actually, it might even be less than that. $5, $6, $7. The stainless zebra, actually laser marked on the front. Kenman. It's backwards. With a big K. Enman. And I love this pen, actually. So if you are thinking about messing around with that pen game, I recommend something like this. Just go buy like a stainless zebra, $5 to $7, and all of a sudden you'd be like, ooh, I like this way better than my junk pen. And what it came down to is I use a pen at work all the time. Probably told this story before. And we had this employee that is no longer working with us, but he had a tendency to chew on his fingernails and use pens to dig in his nails, and then he'd be sitting there and he'd have the pen in his mouth and he'd be chewing on it. And we have community cups. There's like a community cup over here with pens in it on this table. There's a thing over there with pens, and he would take one of those and he'd be like just chewing on it and digging in his hands and stuff, and then chuck it right back in with the other pens. And it was like, all right, I can't touch any of these pens ever again. And so it was like, I need to have a distinct pen that I know is mine, you know, and then I bought that. And from there, now I'm like, actually, I would love to have some of these. I like this one quite a bit. This is the DLC coated titanium click pen. Big Idea Design Click. So there's a little button on either side, and that little side button clicks it back out. It's not too loud, but it's got some satisfying feel to it. It's great in the hand. It's got this twist thing, so it accepts a lot of different sizes of ink cartridges. Feels good. Gross. Very gross, bro. It was like I saw it and I was like, oh no, like, and then I saw him doing this and I was like, and then he just took it and threw it right in the cup and got up and went out, and I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, some people, like I saw, where was it? At one of the spots, this one person was sitting there in the break room, sitting at the table, you know, these are like community tables, cutting nails, ping, ping. Like in the cafeteria, at the table, not trying to like even find them, just knowing pish, and it's flying away, and just keep on trucking. It's like, what are you doing in here, bro? I make every pen I touch disappear. Yeah, I know. Who does that? Hey, it's the Johnsons. That's right. I will lose pens all the time. I would like, oh, I've got this blue and white click zebra style pen, but it says like, you know, Bremer Bank or something like that on it that you just get from the bank or from random places. And I would lose those regularly. And I literally, as soon as I bought this, I always know where it is. And it wasn't expensive. So it worked for me. Plus EDC. I always am EDC, and so like literally I carry this one pretty much every day, if not the other one. And then in my pocket right now I have, if I can get to it, I've been carrying this little nail nick pry bar from Rough Rider. It's got a little tobacco bone, and it's just a little. This comes in handy if you need to do some prying or digging or popping something off or whatever. I actually use this every now and then, but it's small. It doesn't take up much space. You just put it in your hand like that. And it does the job. It does the job. So I love these things. That's always in that pocket. I've always usually got my pen right there as well. And I still have the back pocket for activities. You got your little side pocket on the TD McQuaid's. Then we got the main pocket, the little secondary pocket. I can put in that bad boy. And then we'll go over here. What do I got? Little naps in the fifth pocket on that side right now. So I'm always carrying at least 2 knives. That little pry bar, those are like $6 or whatever. It actually was a design that they used back in the day. Like if you were a knife dealer or seller and you're selling the old school slip joints, you would have one of these. So if you're opening them all day, you're basically using this. You know, that's what it was designed for. This is like a nail nick for like the old timers, you know, and they're selling a lot and they don't want to mess up their thumb because they're opening them all day, or I don't know. Sorry, I got an itch on the side of my nose here. I think it's cool, and it works great for a pry bar. Just a nice small little piece, doesn't take up a lot of space. What do you think about this? This one, what's this one called again? Crap. I bought this one at Blade Show, Texas this year. Rosecrafts. God. The shield, the skull shield that's Andy's kind of trademark skull shield that I can't focus on. He's also got one on the Elk River Easy Open Jack. This is probably my favorite one right now. I've been carrying the most. I like that little that middle finger notch right there. Boom, kind of locks the handle in. The smaller little Warncliffe. Great half stop on this. This is the Elk River Easy Open. It's like an easy 2-pinch. I dig this knife quite a bit. Shoot, I can't remember the name of this one, but I do like the larger handle that curves back. Real good feel in there. Have you seen the Gerber Chunk? Awesome little pry bar. Oh, I had one of those. And I used it for a giveaway. On the Gerber chunk, I actually think that I got that free with like an order. It was like spend $100 or something at like Blade HQ or something like a year ago, and I got that Gerber chunk. But they're like $10 or $20 chunky pry bar. Yeah, I don't know who won it, but it was part of a giveaway for, I don't know what it was, probably 5 or 6K. Been a little while now on that one. But yeah, that's a nice little pry bar. I really wish this one got screwed up. This is the Arcform Arc Pry. I love the way this feels a little bit larger. That little thumb scoop, titanium pry bar with the clip built in. I love this. I was carrying this every day, but I caught the clip and it pulled it out. And so now you can see that clip is spaced. It used to be there. Now it's there, and it's loosey-goosey. It won't stay in my pocket, so you put it in there and it'll just fall out. And I don't know how to bend it back, because if you try to push bend, what's going to happen is it's going to push down, it's going to be touching, and then when you try to squeeze this more, it's going to ramp it up, and so it's going to end up further away. So I don't know if I have to bend the whole thing out and then bend it back, because you can't really squeeze. If I squeeze this here, this touches immediately. And as soon as that touches, if you squeeze any more, it's going to be squeezing down and pushing the end out. I really like this. It's great. I did carry this for probably 50, 60 days before it happened. And it might snap, yeah. So I'm not sure how to get that bend tighter without pinching, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Unless, I don't know if heat. Like if you put something like a rod in there and heat it up so that it just naturally fell. Yeah, I don't know. 9:12. All right, let's see. TKE is going to be going on live today, right? He did not go live last week because he was out of town or something to that effect. And so I ended up staying live longer because we didn't have anything else to do. What's up, Pocket Stuff? The heating might work. What do you think about that, Donnie? Do you think if I heated that up and let it just, like, put something on there and then just let it kind of drop? Because I need it to drop down, but I can't squeeze here. Yeah. I did my best. I did my best. All right. Look at that for a second. Check it out. I need to look up TKE quick here. All right. YouTube. The right edge. 9/13/25. There it is. Copy. All right. TKE live. Space. Space. Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia. There is the link for TKE's live. He will be going live in, well, it says 15 minutes. I would bet that it'll be about 25 minutes. Challenge. What do you got? TKE, are you ready? Are you ready? Sometimes he dips in here beforehand. He knows that I go live before his a little bit. $8 for a chunk. That's not a bad price at all, because if you're looking for a pry bar, although it's a chunk, so it's a little bit chunkier versus like the thing I like about this one is it is small. It doesn't take up a lot of space. You might not be able to get a huge amount of leverage behind it like you would with like a big screwdriver or something, but the size is great because it drops in my 5th pocket back here, and it basically drops all the way down and then sits sideways at the bottom right here. And so I can't even tell that that's there. Although what was great about the Art Pry, which is bigger, is I would put that in this one kind of like where this pen is. Take the pen out. I would put that right there. So it would sit in that seam. It's that long right in this space. So it's flat. But see, look now, just see that? Ding. It doesn't stay in your pocket. So you sit down, it's just going to start sliding out. But yeah, the chunk is a good one. If you're looking for a pry bar that's not too expensive, check it out. But I definitely recommend having them. I use it. I don't recommend prying with your knives. So having something alternate, you know, something little, this little tool came with, what did this one come with? I've never carried that, but that one, oh, it came with the, this one, the Olight utility, this right here. This is kind of a fun little utility because you got your crossbar, you have full access to most of the razor blade. The action on it's pretty fun. And it has this. Boom. You have your bit driver, so you can put a little bit in there. Comes with a flathead Phillips. You can also put your T6s or whatever, the skinnier blade or the skinnier bit in there. That's got that little button lock action right there. Although, if you're looking for a utility, I say get the Kaiser Drop Bear utility. This thing is stupid. It's so cool. Boom, flicks out nice. Look at this little ramped up jimp section. Jimps to be everywhere. It's got that shape to it, the little curve, the little natural forward angle. I thought little pry bars were silly, but it actually is useful, right? If you ever see Bob's Pocket Knives, he carries, check out Bob's Pocket Knives if you haven't. Great guy. Nice little channel. But he carries like one of those little mini screwdrivers where it's like this big, you know, handles like that long, and then a little 1-inch little screwdriver. So he carries this little flathead screwdriver that's that big, and then he makes a little sheath that goes over the top. So all in all, it's only about that large, but it's basically a little mini screwdriver that is also great for pry. Beefy razor flipper. Dude, this action is stupid. I mean, the crossbar clutch lock from Kaiser, the action is just great. It just works. This ramp feels really good. The jumps are really nice. Ergos are great. That forward choil, the thumb spot, it just, I don't use utility blades, but I've had several, and then maybe the Exos, the like gravity ones could be the coolest because it's a gravity blade. But I think ultimately, if I were to recommend one utility knife, utility blade, it would be this Kaiser Drop Bear utility. Ugh. Whoops, I just cut my finger on the thumb stud. Boom. Carry a Vero pry bar every day, says Brian. Right on. What's up, Tegan? What's up, Tegan? I mean, sure. You could get a Milwaukee Fastback. Oh my God, I'm dropping stuff today. Milwaukee Fastback. Not the worst thing in the world, but am I ever going to carry this? No. Tip down only. Ugly clip. Button actuated only. I mean, it says Milwaukee on the side, so you got that going for you. But yeah, I mean, that feels awesome. I love this ugly brown micarta too. Just gorgeous. Call that whatever you will, but did he just say that ugly brown micarta is gorgeous? Yeah, I did. I sure did. 9 minutes to Wapner. Gonzo at 196. Well, Tagging's telling Gonzo. Almost at 200 already, see? Moving up. He was trying to get to 150 just a few days ago. Now we're almost at 200. Couple more days, you'll be pushing 250. That's great. Keep it up. Post something every day. Post a couple shorts every day. I actually got a notification from YouTube just recently. They're like, oh, YouTube shorts. You should check into posting YouTube shorts. I'm like, I probably have over 1,000 YouTube shorts. I've definitely posted a few. But it was like an ad, like I'd never done it before. Yeah, for those that are not subscribed to Tagging, I'll bring up a link. I've got, I don't have anything ready for anything. Oops, and then that won't work if you do that. That's no good. Tagging topic. Why isn't it popping up? Because I have to put there it is. If you don't put the at, YouTube is dumb. You could take that as a quote just to pull that. YouTube is dumb. Well, you know what I mean? When you're searching, like I just type tagging and it doesn't come up, but if I type at tagging, it does. Like, it knows what I want. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's a link to Tagging. 196 subscribers. He's posted some videos. He got 42 videos up, or 42 shorts. And a couple of lives. Or only one live. Go check it out. 6 minutes to TKE, yeah, right. We'll see. We will see, won't we? Absolutely, bud. I'll try to help you out anytime I can. Tagging has a bunch of cool knives. That helps. That helps. I got a projects today. I need projects today. I don't know which ones I want to do. Sometimes I get that, I'd call it whatever, you sit there and stare and you haven't started anything, so you just don't start anything. It's like once you get started, you can really start banging some stuff out. But if you haven't started, you're kind of sitting there, you get that kind of ADHD kind of mentality, and you're kind of like, and you just kind of stare at it and you don't start it, and you're like, But as soon as I get rolling, bro, Robo Steve and my man Paul, what up? What up? So sometimes it takes a while. I have days where it's like you just want to make some videos. You got videos to make. I got cool knives to review. It's fun. But then you kind of stare at them, you just, you don't have it in you. But I tell you, sometimes I don't really have it in me, and then I do. What? You can have that one, Paul. Yeah. you know, you're just not feeling it or whatever, and it's like, all right, let's go. And you get in here, and I'm like, all right, Kenman here, and they start making a video, and then boom, then you make a second one and a third one, and it's like you finish the third one, it's like, ooh, let's do a fourth one. I got a couple more to go, and then I'll start just knocking them out. I feel pretty good today, though. I don't know what actual weather is going to be. Actually looks sunny right now. It rained last night, but I got some stuff I want to get done. I know what you mean, says Brando's, right? Dude, it's for real. It's for real. Paul Almighty only has like 3 cool knives. Did you hear that, Paul? Shots fired from the Robo. Only got like 3. Ha! I started watching your live instead. That's a thing, bro. Because it's like you just kind of like what's on, and you just start watching something, and then you kind of melt into the couch for a while. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here. It'd be like that sometimes. The other day, dude, I just wanted to make some videos when I got home, and I don't know what it was. I couldn't. 3 minutes. What are we, guys? We're going to make some bets? Let's make some bets. Oh, Patty, dropping in for a quick hello. Hope you all have a great time. I'm going to go ahead and type 3 minutes. In TKE's live. Give him a countdown. Then yells, Flipper delete. I want to try it. I want to snip a tip. I want to do it. Oh, that's fun. I've had a few candidates. I don't remember where they are right now, but I've had a few where I think that it would be a good candidate for the old test for me to do a snip, tip, a tip. And I'm trying to find them now, and as I scan and pan, I've got nothing. He always has consent. You know, he's legit. Well, and I mean, if Paul looks at you, gives you a little wink, I mean, you're going to say yes. You're going to be like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Show us on the knife where Paul touched. Henry G. Getting ready to go over to Rec for a meetup today. Awesome. Let us know how it went. Let us know. Let me live vicariously through your experience. Right? Right? Sometimes it's where to start, too. I don't want to do this one, but I'm going to have to. Oh, I've still got this to do. I forgot. Because I already sent Fred's knives on. They're on their way to Tri-State. But I kept this one. I got to send Fred some money for the remet. So I haven't done the video on this yet either. But he did send me the box, so I've got that, so I can pack it all up, get it ready. But this button lock, button actuated bolster lock is dope, because that bolster lock works fun. So does the button lock. Not as good with my right. I dig it too. Not as huge on the carbon fiber, but ultimately the look on this, that button on there, that bolster lock, the front flipper, everything about this was just cool. I was like, yeah, I like this. He's like, oh, it's for sale. Two purchases from Fred's collection. Here's my other one. Ting. How great is that? Taken right from Fred. This most recent one, though, he sent me, I don't have anything I'm going to be able to buy from him. This is great. Ramet Meteor. So cool. Ramet has some really fun stuff that they're coming out with. Interesting new styles, locks, the way that things cap together and move, and really fun. Really fun. Highly recommended. Check them out. All right. He's over time. He's over, and he is not live yet. And 9:31. Is that a Vosteed? Where? What's up, Lanyard Man? Is it out for delivery, Lanyard Man? When I looked, it said delivery Saturday. But I haven't checked yet today. But I have a feeling you should be getting it today. Is he going to be 20 minutes late after blowing us off last week? We love TKE, and I only give them hell because it's fun. Love them? I love them, Fred. What do I love? Yes, I do. Fred, do you even know how to get the cap off of this thing? This thing is wild. The Poikilos are not yours. They were sent to you from Poikilo. Oh. Well, Lanyard Man, but does it say out for delivery? Like if you type in the tracking info, it should say like in transit or out for delivery. I would imagine it should say out for delivery. Why didn't YouTube send me a notification you went live? I don't know. I don't know. It's unfortunate. So these were sent to Fred from Poikilo. This is the greatest, the coolest looking integral though. No screws anywhere. There's one screw inside that hole that unless you look in there, you don't see it. So no visible screws. That will only take off the clip. These caps are covering up the pivot. We don't know how to get underneath there. It's pretty neat. It's interesting to watch your brain try to think. You see the gaps, right? I have gaps. This is rad though. I dig it. It's just a nice feel. The flick out is satisfying. Good choke up spot. I mean, it says on the site 720 euro. Yeah, I spoke with Poikilo Blade Show, asked for a few to show. They sent. I'm sure they want them back. Yeah, I couldn't find much on the integral, Fred, but the one place I found it for sale, it was only in euros, and it was they wanted like 720 euro, which I think is around 800. What am I doing? But I can flick it out with the lock bar as a lefty. Thumb does work. But yeah, we can get in there and flick, pushing on the bar. So that is well tuned in. I tried to look it up. Not that I want, I'm gonna, but I just, because it's so cool of a design with no screws visible, somehow you have to get in there to get to that pivot. I was just curious, like if they needed to service this, how it's done. Very interesting design. I like it. Thank you again, Fred, for sending those for some review. It was that one, the Spark, which is really cool with the gear. And then the free spin. And then the other one I do not like at all. And that's, I mean, I'm just totally the honest opinion on this Poikilo. It's only got that thumb stud on one side. It's really tight in there. I fail it a lot. And then when I do get it to go, it puts my thumb, look at that. It puts your thumb right here when you open it. Like I'm going to go and slice my thumb right up the middle. You can't open it as a lefty because you can't flick it because the pressure on the lock bar. So it's like there's only one way to open it with your thumb on your right hand, and that's sketchy. Do I own a Baby Banter? What's up, Dylan? I have the Baby Banter Warncliffe. This is the Baby Banter to get. I mean, whatever works for you. This is the one. Baby Banter Warncliffe. Thumbs out real easy. Nice little flick out. This is a small knife. I don't usually put lanyards, Edyards on there, but this one it works good because my little pinky fall off the back. It gives you a little extra grip. But the forward choke up spot, I put my finger there and grab with a large hand, and it basically makes it to the back. So the tiniest little knife, you still got a good grip on there. You can get in there and make some cuts. Baby Banter is a nice one for sure. Oh, Fred, I will too. I don't have anything in it, and I've always been completely upfront about everything I think about it. Whether if it works good for a lefty, it doesn't work good for a lefty. Things that I love, things that I don't love. There's things I've never had one in my possession where I feel sketchy opening it and just have issue. You know, like it is what it is. So I'm going to be totally honest in the review. For sure. The green might already, yeah, the purple wasn't really, although the jokered out purple with the green does look kind of cool. But as far as minis go, this is probably one of the top notch. I was doing a mini knife shootout. I lost some footage, which bummed me out. Oh, here he goes. TKE is now live. Let me give you the link one more time if you didn't get it the first time, since I didn't post it, or I didn't, whatever, paste. There it is. So there's the link right there. Go check out TKE. He's live every Saturday. Just popped on live now. If you want to tell him Kenman sent you, feel free. Otherwise, you can tell him, hey, you're a few minutes late. 7 minutes late. Thank you all for hanging out. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay sharp. We'll see you over at TKE.